I was like, I need to do something to take advantage of all this spend. So that led me, like, my fiance can attest, for the last 6 months, and literally from the time that we got engaged until the time I started my channel, like, I was doing nothing but watching you guys, watching videos all day, all night. She was getting so mad at me. So anyway, I found a few really good videos about how to take advantage of high spend. I found 1 or 2 videos on, like, wedding spend specifically, but there wasn't like a full guide or like a journey through, like, here's how to navigate the whole thing. And so that's kind of why I started, is like, I can't believe how many people are watching my videos and supporting me, because that's literally my only goal with the channel, is to be sort of a, you're getting married, what can you do with credit cards? And that's kind of why I wanted to start the channel, is like, be sort of a resource for people that were in the situation that I was at that time.
That's awesome. And I want you to see, look who's on the screen. Luke is here, bro.
Am I?
Damn.
You know, bro, I'm happy for you. And I think what attracted us to your channel and the way you present is that it's real life experience that's being done, not something that you just look up and read what, you know, how many points you get for this and that. Like, you're putting it to use. Chad and Sledge this week, the last couple of days, we've been texting each other from every place we've been and just saying we're literally walking the walk, right? And I haven't done it, and to experience it like I did this past week is next level. My wife literally told me, I can see why you're doing what you're doing now. And for Chad and the guys here, we were saying this off screen, I got upgraded at the Chatwell from a great king size room to a junior suite in the penthouse that I found out today was worth $1,500 a night.
I got the upgrade. Crazy, bro. That room was crazy.
Jordan, there was a TV in the mirror in the bathroom with a remote.
It was one of
those. I was like, oh my God. And then the toilet seat was heated. I felt like I was in my Tesla for a second. I was like, wait, the seat is hot and I can watch TV. So
Joe, did you know that they got those same features at the Park Hyatt? That's also a Hyatt property. It's something that they're rolling out towards some of their higher end properties, and it's next level. You did the thing. I showed the wife while we were traveling, and she was like, "Oh wow."
Yo, I'm not kidding. That was the best FHR stay I ever had, and it's from the Unbound collection at Hyatt, and the Chatwell was just next level, guys. I will do a video. It's going to take me a while to put it together because there was a lot there, but
that's so cool. I've never stayed in an Unbound, so that's really cool.
You know what that got me too, Key? I got a free night because I was able to get 5 different Hyatt places or whatever the hell it is. I didn't even know it. They sent me a thing. They're like, "Oh, we're going to send you." I was like, "Oh my God, this is."
Oh, that's the Brand Explorer.
Yeah, the Brand Explorer. That I didn't even know what that was until I got it. So, you know, that worked. Key, what's your next question, Mom? I'm sorry, baby.
Oh no, don't be sorry. I mean, there's no agenda. I guess, Jordan, my next question, still continuing on YouTube. I love your perspective. I watch all your videos. I just think it's, you know, something that most people are going to go through in their life, and it's great to have a starting point, because it is probably, you know, one of those top, you know, 3-4 things in your life you're ever going to pay for, right? Has YouTube and creating videos, how has that process been for you? And I mean, you look great on camera and you sound great and confident, like, but any struggles or any hiccups thus far?
It's been a process for sure. Like, thinking back to, I kind of want to take them down now. My first few were so monotone and scripted and boring, and just the quality was off. So it's been a process, and I know I've gotten a lot better, but quite honestly, I feel like I can continue to get a lot better with whether it's the quality or even just the content I'm presenting. So it's kind of the way I've been thinking about it, is sort of knowing that you're constantly evolving, right? Like, you're constantly getting better. And no matter what level that you reach, you know, the subscribers that some of the people on this call have, I'm sure you guys can attest to it as well. Like, you're always striving to be better, whether that's the content you're putting out or the different style in which you're putting that out. So I've just sort of had that mindset. Like, I grew up playing sports, like super competitive. So always trying to like outdo myself, I guess, in a sense. I feel like I'm sort of competing with my last video. Not in terms of views and things like that, just with how I feel that it comes off with what I am, putting out in terms of content.
I love it. I don't have a question. I think that was beautifully said. One of the things that Chad first told me is that if you're not doing lives right off the bat, like, why are you hiding? So kudos to you for getting on here. And right, this isn't scripted, right? We're just kind of chit-chatting and talking, and you sound so like I'm blown away at how like you just sound comfortable. Like you just know what you're talking about.
I
you know why? You know why? It's because I'm doing this.
That's why.
It's because I'm doing this. I'm not an expert, but I feel like I know a little bit of what I'm talking about because I'm doing the research, honestly.
Right. Now, I know you've been doing your research, right? So this question is very important. It's going to be very important how you answer this question. Me versus Luke in a cage match. Who wins?
Yo, I can't.
Next question.
I can't with you. He just went for the jugular real quick, like baptism by fire.
Oh man.
Hey, I don't hold grudges. So
I think Luke might have it, but I'll say that it's going to go to a decision, split decision.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
Look,
you're going to go the distance.
All I'm saying is, Luke better hurry up out the building if I lose.
Dude, I'm laughing because Luke actually said, I have a question. Does this kid actually know the Jordan rules, like Pistons versus Bulls Jordan rules? That's
the most creative thing that I could come up with. Yeah. I was born in 96. I was like, why not?
God. No athletic commission would sanction our old asses.
Never say never.
No, right?
Tyson out here.
Wait, but
Tyson got it there.
But JP knowledge is saying Key wins. So Key, you got one there.
If it's like hugs, I'm all for it. Otherwise, cage match, I'm running as fast as I can away from that.
Chad, you got a question for our man Jordan?
Actually, I didn't, but I just thought of one.
Go ahead.
First of all, appreciate you doing the content. You are touching a demographic of people. I've had to plan a wedding before, and the amount of stress with paying this vendor and paying that vendor is crazy, and a lot of people tend to miss out on opportunities to get return on a lot of money that's put out. So first of all, very, very smart doing this and researching this, and trust me, your wife's gonna love you. So now with this being considered, with the points that you're amassing, paying vendors, getting things done, how do you plan on deploying those to literally knock her socks off for her honeymoon? Because I'm telling you right now, as pissed as she is that you're consuming all this content, the minute that you travel for $5 or you go somewhere with no money out of pocket, you stay at a hotel that you otherwise would not pay money for, and you go to places where your first name is now Mr., trust me, she'll understand. But what's your plan to after the wedding?
That's a good question. And I mean, I think I said this to you, Sledge, in one of the comments. I think it was on my community post. Is I think all it's going to take is, to your point, Chad, one of those Q suites, 5-star, everything paid for. That's all it's going to take. I mean, she's on board. Don't get me wrong. She's got the gold card under her name. She just signed up for an Ink Unlimited through a referral, so she's getting into it. But I think two things. Once I make that big redemption, which I guess the soonest one would probably be the honeymoon, where we're just going to ball out, and I would have no problem spending every damn point that I earn on that. I know you like hearing that. I'm going I'm going to spend as many points as I can. I'll look at the Semper point, but I don't give a damn. Like, if I can just treat her to 5-star and just top of the line when it comes to accommodations, she will be fully on board. So that's kind of my plan right now, is to, throughout this year, like I'm getting started with redemptions, like domestic flights. I got obviously my bachelor party I'm going to fly to, stay in the hotel on points, little things like that to just sort of get used to booking, whether that's travel portal, transferring out to partners. So it's kind of a good way to sort of test out, I guess, how I plan to really redeem in the future. So
Absolutely.
I'm kind of using this year as like a test, and then we're going to ball the hell out.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, let me
January.
offer you a pro tip. You said that she has a gold card, she has the ink card. If you guys want to pool points, you normally cannot transfer them within ecosystem. Make sure you're authorized users on each other's cards, so that way your loyalty transfers, especially with Chase. If you're an authorized user on her Chase cards, her Chase points are then available for her to transfer into your account.
Way ahead of you.
Did I lose you guys?
No, you came back.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So
I
All
was
right,
just
so
I'm way ahead of you. So we got you tell me, and this is actually one of the questions I literally had written down was, so I'm an authorized user on her gold card, and I've read some stuff online, but there's nothing really definitive. Is there, from what I understand, it's be an authorized user for 90 days, and then you have that ability to transfer between the two.
I don't have Terry as a player too.
I'm
for
sorry,
that.
guys.
For Chase. So he was saying
Can you
that
repeat that
you have
question
to
one more
wait-
time? My phone cut out.
Go ahead, Jordan.
No, I was just saying, so on the gold card, I was saying I got out ahead of it. And from what I read, I got added as an authorized user on her gold card.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming, I think we've even had it for 90 days now, which from what I read is kind of the threshold of when you can transfer or when she could transfer her points to my account. Is that right? With Amex specifically?
From Amex account to Amex account?
Yes.
No, just do it in one.
Okay.
No, you can't transfer.
You can't.
Everything
You
that
can't
I've read.
pull them. You can't pull
No.
them. But what people do is, like, for example, say you're gonna go on a Delta flight or whatever, right? It doesn't matter the transfer partner. She'll be able to move her points to your Delta account or to your ABC
Right.
account.
But he's
Yeah,
saying
that's-
he's an authorized. No, what he's saying is he's an authorized user. The points is pooled together automatically.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah,
They just
yeah,
go to
yeah.
one
Here's the
account.
thing.
Right. It's all
Yeah,
in one
it's all
pool.
on one account.
Right. They just go to one.
Okay.
Yeah, they just go to one account. The primary
Ah.
card user.
So, like,
Right,
when he
yeah.
logs into his Amex, he'll see those points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
you're
that's
earning
fine.
them from that card. So whoever you
Yeah.
add to your card,
The,
what they spend, you get.
the
Yeah.
authorized users don't actually get any
They
points.
don't get points.
You get the primary user only gets them.
So for Amex is Chase. What you guys were talking about, Chad was talking about earlier was Chase, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a difference with Chase that if you want to move points within accounts, that's the difference. But for Amex, if you're an authorized user, if you hold the card and she spends on it or vice versa, all those points get pulled together.
Okay.
No matter who you add. I added my sister as an authorized user on my platinum, I will get the points. That was it.
But yeah, Chad, to your question, yeah. So she literally just got approved for that Ink Unlimited. She's already an authorized user with one of my Chase cards. So I'm just going to get authorized user on her new Ink Unlimited, and then we should be good to just go between the two of us.
Yeah, definitely grab an employee card on her. Because for the most part, even if you're only an authorized user on one of her Chase cards, because like Joe said, you can move Chase UR points from card to card, or you just move it to the card where you're the authorized user. And then when you go to transfer points to points partner, it will actually list both of your travel programs there if she has one. If she doesn't, it will only list yours and you can automatically transfer there. That way your combined spend can be used as effectively as possible. Same thing with Amex.
Good to know.
So before we go to JP with your question, JP, I just really want to say hello to Luke and thank you for being here from the Centurion Lounge in Miami. Thank you for being here, Luke. I appreciate it. I got the Papi Chulo of Palm Coast, Miguel Santiago from Florida, Wepa, sending some love. Vincent, again, I like Vincent's comment here. Once you get married, one of the topics you'll be covering a fair amount is how player 1 and 2 coordinate credit card strategy and overall finances. That's a hell of a good point that he made there. We have Kevin. Kevin is our 18-year-old from California. He wants you to put down your channel. If you could type it in, Jordan. Like I said, JP's in the house. Thank you, JP. Tristan, how you doing, Tristan? Hola, papi. Thank you for being here. Luis, hola. Thank you for being here as well. I really appreciate it. Lisa, HJM, how you doing? How you doing? Thank you for being here. And I have a question here. Let me see. Yeah, so this is what Kevin is saying. Amex points pull into one account for primary account for points. He's correct. Chase is you have to have the same physical address for the cards so that you could do it, right?
Yeah.
So JP, what do you have to say to Jordan, JP?
I want first. I want to apologize. I haven't had a chance to come across your channel until recently. But first off, congratulations on getting engaged. It's a big step. But I do want you're talking about your player too. I do wonder because my wife, when I started going down the same rabbit hole, she was very hesitant about not me getting cards, but herself getting cards. So I was wondering, like, how do you guys navigate that, and how do you basically talk to her about getting certain cards, and does she have hesitancy for getting cards in the future, or how many cards?
She's definitely hesitant, but I think kind of to what I was saying with Chad, I think all it'll take is one huge trip, like our honeymoon specifically, where we're not paying out of pocket, and I think she'll be fully on board. But it's definitely been a struggle to get her. The big hurdle was getting her into the business card side.
Yeah.
Luckily, I mean, she did just launch her own business. I think it was a month ago or so. So she's now fully on board with getting business cards. How frequently that's going to be, I mean, it's kind of a balancing act, right? Like, I don't want to push too hard, but at the same time, I'm like, we could hit this chasing cash offer in like the next month with all these, like, yeah, like let's go. But it's been, for me, I'm kind of going really fast, and I know that my own strategy is kind of risky in a sense. So I don't expect her to be matching my velocity with applications at all. But I think for her, a safe bet, at least for now, will be every 3 or 4 months, I'll kind of get the bug in her ear, and I don't want to push too hard, because then I'll lose her. But I think every 3 or 4 months, especially once she starts to see how we're traveling, at the very least domestically this year, all on points, everything's taken care of, I think she'll just continue to be more and more on board.
Do you know what, Jordan? I love the fact that you're being brutally honest, because you're out here and you could say the things like, oh yeah, she's on board. No, you're being honest. Because I literally, now, I don't know how many years. Chad, you've been married how many years? I know you're celebrating your anniversary.
3.
Sledge, 25?
26.
26. JP, 1. Keys knocking on the door. But no, but I'm 25, right? And my wife, when she keeps seeing these things come in the mail, she's like, oh, not another one. Jesus, like, what's wrong with you? Really? Like, but it took, I swear to God, this Thursday, when they meet you and greet you at the desk, and they're like, well, this should have been your room, but this is your room. And they go, how would the penthouse feel? Real good. It would feel, and then we're eating and drinking and not pay 1 cent. In New York City, to not pay 1 cent is outrageous. So she literally, her words were, now I get it. Now I get it. And I'm telling you, I'm 58, and it took me forever to get to this point. So for you to do it 30 years before me, bro, you're way ahead of the game. You got a lifetime ahead of you to do this. Like I look at Chad right now, the pictures he was sending me in Sledge. I told Chad if it wasn't because I was married and Chad wasn't married, it'd be me and Chad on a camel right now.
I ain't gonna lie to you. To add to what Joe says, like my wife, when we first got married, we got married in Vegas. And we just said, we're going to go back to Vegas and go to Hotel Paris. And I just called her and said, how about we go to real Paris? I think I might be able to do something with these points that we started collecting.
Dang.
And literally, her voice was like this. Okay. And it wasn't until we touched down at Charles de Gaulle Airport, they said happy anniversary to her. They presented her with a bottle of champagne. And I swear to you, her words were, as a matter of fact, I'll let her tell you. Come here. Tell them what your words were to me when we touched down after you found out you flew to Paris for $5.60. What did you say to the good people, the good French people?
Well, I don't know. I said a couple of things. I said I felt like just the Delta One flight was such an experience. I was okay with going home. Like I was like so overstimulated and overfed I was like, we could be done now.
That's it.
I'm like, I was good with just a flight.
She said, "That's it.
I was good.
I can go back to the house."
Yo.
So Jordan, you're gonna knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
100. Yo, Rain, are you going modeling in Egypt now too, Rain? I don't understand. I've never seen somebody in the desert wearing a dress like that, Rain.
You already know. Every day, every night, Arabian Nights.
That's my girl. Yes. Yes. My sister sends her love, and Terry as well, Rain.
Oh, tell her I said hi.
I will. So Luke has a can someone make a thumbnail with Jordan sitting on the couch and all you guys standing behind the couch in white t-shirts? I had to make Jordan big. I made that thumbnail. I had to make Jordan bigger. So it is what it is, you know. So I like that, Luke. Thank you, Luke. That's funny. Lisa, thank you for sending out the love, Lisa. I swear to God, thank you. Look, camels and beer. That's exactly it. Gunna, how you doing, Gunna? Guys, hit that like button. We got 40-something people here. I can't see how many likes we got, but for the love of goodness, let's just hit the like. It doesn't hurt.
Sure.
Your fingers ain't gonna hurt, guys. Come on. We're bringing you real stuff here. All right. So, Sledge, what else you got for Jordan coming up?
And before I ask Jordan a question, I gotta say, I haven't reached a level of success until I go to a hotel that has a pool on the balcony like Key had, right? The pool was on the balcony of the room, bro. Like I've never even seen this. Like I've never seen this in any hotel I've ever been in. So yeah, I haven't reached success to that until I seen that. But I will. I do got to give a shout out to the Bardo Hotel in Savannah, Georgia. Right. I did 2 FHR stays, and they were both from the FHR credit that I had from 2024. I just waited till the end of the year to use the credits, which, you know, as long as you book those rooms, you can use them in the next year. So I used the one for 2024. I stayed at the Thompson Hotel that a lot of people go to, you know, in Savannah, and then I also stayed at the Bardo. Now, the Thompson's a very nice hotel. The service there is very nice. Their car service is a Tesla with the doors that open up, like, you know what I'm saying, like the Batman
Model X,
you know?
yeah.
Right. So you don't pay for it. You know what I'm saying? You don't get an Uber. You just tell them you want to use the car, and they take you wherever you want to go. Right. That's great. Staying at the Thompson was like staying at the Hilton Garden Inns compared to the Bardo. Right. The Bardo was that much better in service. It was that much. They also had car service. They took you around in an Escalade, same thing, anywhere you wanted to go there. And because it was my birthday, they gave me free drink, right? I sent you guys the little birthday thing, the little birthday cake thing, right? They gave me a junior suite while I was there. I recorded all of it. I don't even know if I'm putting it on video or not, but man, the Bardo Hotel, anybody, if you ever go to Savannah, Georgia for any reason, and the only reason I went there is because I've never been. like I've never been to Savannah, Georgia, and it was somewhere close I could go for my birthday and hang out for a few days. But if you ever go there, it's like a castle. If you look at it from the outside, it looks like a castle. And it's a lot of history in Savannah. But yeah, if you ever visit Savannah, Georgia, it's a boutique hotel. It doesn't go with any other hotel. It's not a Marriott or a Hyatt or a Hilton or anything. Just a boutique hotel that's on the FHR. Please go there. Okay, now that I got all that ranting out the way, Jordan, this is for my brother from another mother, Cesar Joel, because he always asks this question. If you could only have one card for the rest of your life, what would that card be and why?
Blue Business Plus. I don't even have the card yet, but that would be it. I mean,
we just talked about that today.
Yeah. I don't even have the card yet. I just know. Well, I guess, is that foreign transaction fee though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is
okay.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. I think
that would still be it.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I know my own biases, and that's to like Delta and to Marriott specifically, and just being in the MR network. I mean, barring any major changes to their transfer partners, I don't see myself ever moving outside of American Express. And if I could only have one card, it'd definitely be their version of, I guess, their best catch-all card with that Blue Business Plus. Now,
For sure.
I do have kind of a hot take because I've actually thought about this question. I almost want to say my number 2 would be the Bonvoy Brilliant card.
Why?
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta know.
Why the
Platinum
Bonvoy Brilliant?
status. So Platinum Elite status, which I've already felt the effects of. I mean, I think I was silver, or I might have even been gold, just for my work travel and how much I was staying. My first 2 trips with Platinum Elite status, I've gotten upgraded. I've obviously got access to the M Suites now, or to the M Club. And the spending multipliers, at least in my opinion, I get that Bonvoy points are not that valuable. What are they, 0.8 cents per point or something like that? It gives you 2x back on every purchase. So doing that math, you're still earning more than you would a Freedom Unlimited for every purchase, and the 3x back on restaurants. I know us, and whether it's domestically or internationally, we're always going to be staying at Marriott's. So my fiance's worked in hospitality. We've stayed in all the different hotel chains. It's total, again, just bias from us and total personal preference, but we just prefer Marriott. And I don't see us ever sort of leaving as being Marriott loyalists. I mean, again, barring so many crazy changes, and I know that's a hot take, but I love Marriott. I do care that their points aren't as valuable, but I don't really give a damn. I mean, I'm always going to stay at Marriott. And with that platinum status, to what we were talking about before, the first trip that I take with her and we get upgraded to one of those suites, it's going to be a game changer.
That's actually an interesting take. I was thinking about that as you were talking. A card that I only have one card, and if I really love Marriott, I wonder if you would want to go with the Bevy over the Brilliant, because like it has 4x on groceries, 4x on what's it called, on restaurants, 2x catch all kind of, and it gets you Marriott plus gold status. So if you're staying there a lot, I'm just curious, like, and you only have one card, I'm curious like what your thought would be on using that one instead of the Brilliant.
Because we're bougie and we want to be platinum members and get those free upgrades. I mean, I got no problem admitting it. I mean,
Evan says Jordan doesn't care about it.
The Bevy's a way better earner, but if we can get sweet upgrades, if I can get, granted it's an expensive card at $650, but with the dining credit that you get on that card and the 85K free night, it's offset, and then we're getting all those perks from being platinum members. So it might not be the biggest earner for us, but I think in terms of what we'd get out of it, it'd be more than the points that we would earn, if that makes sense.
Let me add something to touch on, because this is something I'm actually going to do a video on, and that's points value. A lot of people, the points value. Okay, like you mentioned, there's always an aggregate value, right? So far, the popular aggregate is 0.8 for Marriott, but you're actually on the road to beating that hand over fist, because like this room that I'm in now is a 1-bedroom king suite that I was upgraded to via my suite night upgrade with Marriott. Marriott has ways to increase your point value for no money out of pocket. So like when you do these bookings, and this is going forward, you definitely want to be strategic in your suite upgrades, especially when you're staying at hotels with especially separate levels of suites. You know what I mean? Because some of them have junior, executive, club access, and then, presidential and so on and so forth. That will quickly skyrocket your point value, because I've touched on it before, but a lot of people don't know, like a lot of these aggregate values, like the points guide that they put out, those values include people who got 0.4 cents per point, and they include people who got 3 cents per point on a crazy Marriott booking. So there is actually a sliding scale, but definitely, especially with your interest in the Bonvoy Brilliant, I would definitely keep an eye on your suite night upgrades and be able to deploy those Make sure you deploy those as strategically as possible, and you'll see that your Marriott points are worth way more than random internet websites will tell you that they are.
Stan is saying, and Stan, thank you for being here. Stan, the credit frog is in the house. Thank you, Stan. And he goes, Jordan rules for credit. As a Marriott loyalist, I'll say this: if one is to understand hotel status, one must study all its aspects, not just a dogmatic, narrow view of Marriott. And he loves his Marriott. That's for sure.
That was funny, Stan.
Stan is the man. Stan, thank you for being here. I appreciate that. And I love the chat. Guys, make sure, if you have any questions for Jordan or any comments, Luke is saying 2 Marriott points are not greater than 1.5 Chase UR points. Juan Garcia, although Marriott has the best properties arguably worldwide, the issue I have is loyalty program recognition is inconsistent. That's why I prefer Hilton. He's not wrong in that. And when I've said a different Marriott versions, sometimes you can come in at gold and they really treat you well, and sometimes they just poo-poo you and you're going to be near the elevator, that kind of stuff. So Juan, thank you for that. I appreciate it. And Juan says Hilton Aspire greater than Marriott, brilliant. So, and then no Hilton Aspire best hotel card, no debate. There we go. Ooh, so look at and then Kevin is saying each hotels have different amounts of room available, and the availability is different as well. But I see Jordan's point when it comes to Marriott having access to that lounge. I stayed at the Marriott Marquis right in Times Square. Their lounge is so worth it, because try to get breakfast anywhere else in a nice place that's not a food truck outside where the guy hasn't washed his hands all day is $40 to $50 a person for breakfast. Easy. I swear to God. So if you have and that's used their lounge at the Times Square version, it's beautiful. So there is something to be said for that status, no doubt. But again, then your annual fees on your cards are going to go through the roof. And I'm going to go to the queen of annual fees. Key, how much do you spend in annual fees, my love?
You always put me on blast way too much.
Millions.
I think close to 5K. 5K in annual fees. And it's ridiculous. So
Jordan wouldn't even be getting married at that point. You put in her papers today. She's like, nope.
But my question is, right, like I hear your point for sure. At what point do you think, like, how many Marriott stays do you think you need to stay at to make a Marriott Brilliant card work? Like for the average person, right? I know you're getting it no matter what, but
if you're at least for, that's a good question, because I think, in my opinion, I think one major week-long trip per year, and then I think it's worth it to give you that chance to get upgraded. At least that's how I view it. I know a lot of people love the Hilton card and love Hilton as a partner, and even Hyatt, maybe even more so. But I just know that for us, if we can offset the annual fee and we can do one big redemption per year through Marriott with all the points that we're earning, and then take advantage of that platinum status, that's worth it for me.
I like that take. And actually, Sledge, if you remember, last week I talked to Sledge. We all booked our rooms for Puerto Rico, right? A lot of us are staying at the Hilton, the Caribe Hilton. They had a deal: book 4 nights, you get the 5th one free. It came out to 280,000 Hilton points.
wait, that's not a deal. That's just a part of
right. What I'm just saying, but I'm saying that's the average. So the average price was 70,000 points a night. They gave it to you for 280,000 instead of 35. Sledge, I have the Surpass, and it's a great card. I told Sledge, I'm gonna upgrade to the Aspire. He tells me, wait till you get closer. Keep getting your gift cards right for the Hilton Surpass, and then upgrade towards the end, because then you'll get the bang for your buck, because then when I get there, I'll have that status. So I get what you're saying, as everybody's asking the question about what, like he was just asking you, but I can see, I think at least a week-long stay in a place would justify the cost of that card for that status. What do you guys think?
Listen, I don't have this card. Despite paying $5,000, I don't have this card. Last year, I was just looking at my spreadsheet. I stayed in Marriott 6 times. And I'm traveling minimum of 1 time per month. So I don't know. I just don't have the brilliant. I just don't have it.
You know
But
what?
in general, anyway, but I'm saying in general for all of you guys,
Right.
it doesn't have to be the brilliant, any card.
I feel like because I'm just gonna speak on somebody who's not loyal to any brand, right? Now the Hilton, of course, I'll stay at more Hilton properties, and just because I just been staying at them, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just been a property. Those properties I just stay at, you know what I mean? So, but to be totally honest with you, the Ritz-Carlton is still my favorite brand. It's a Marriott brand. Like the Ritz-Carlton is my favorite brand as far as any hotel goes. So I can see the appeal of Marriott. It's weird because I stayed in a lower end Marriott, which I think I don't remember if it was a Courtyard. It might not have been a Courtyard, but it was one of them type hotels, you know, like Courtyard type hotel. Man, this hotel was nice. like this hotel was super nice. Like 2-bedroom, like the core. I hated the TV. The TVs were super trash, right? The TVs, not because the video quality of the TV was trash, but we talking about like the TV that's this thick in the back. You know, we talking about 2020. This was 2025. This was earlier this month.
You had them big booty TVs?
Yeah, right. But the room had a fireplace in it, like a real fireplace, and everything in it. Like the room was super nice, but it was a lower level Marriott. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely see the appeal of Marriott compared to. And the thing is, my thing with Hilton is, man, they going up on they points. The points it take to get Hiltons now is just it's starting to get out of hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like at this point, like it's starting to get out of hand. I used to justify because you can, if you have Hilton cards, you can gain Hilton points so quick. You know what I mean? Because they earn points super quick. But at this point, I'm like, how much points value can you make some of these rooms?
Chad, what was the name of the hotel, the Marriott that I stayed in when I went to visit you in Port St. Lucie? Was that an Embassy Suites?
That was a Residence Inn.
Residence Inn. It had a beautiful upscale kitchen.
Yeah,
9 bedrooms.
Residents are long-term stays. Normally, they're booked for long-term, and they tend to be nice on the nicer end. I'm a fan. I was just talking to my wife about this the other day, about how in our travels, we've had more upgrades at Hilton's. And like you saw our room in New Orleans, like Hilton has really swung for the fences where we are concerned, but we've gotten upgrades with Marriott's as well. But I swear by the Marriott business card. I think pound for pound, it's one of the best cards that they have to never leave in my wallet, period. And I also love the Hilton Aspire card. I just stayed at a Hilton in Qatar, and we had a pool in the room.
Yeah, Chad out here. Terrific.
You had to see that picture.
Here. I'm over there.
You had to see that picture he sent. I literally told Chad, I do, Chad. I do. I'm sorry. I know they'll probably kill us over there, but I do.
But you guys, I'm 7 minutes away from being in the future. On the 19th, my phone is about to die. I just want to send you guys my love. Thank you so much for having me and the wife on. Much respect. Salute to you guys. Jordan, good luck on your marriage and your nuptials. Keep those finances right. Remember to choose each other every day, and you'll have a long marriage. I appreciate the chat. Thank you so much, you guys, for giving me the privilege to join. I'm going to go ahead and drop off. And
love you, Papa. God bless you. Enjoy.
Appreciate
Good night, Rain.
Much love, you guys.
Love you guys.
Yeah. All right, you guys take it easy.
So we have Kevin here. He says, hey, Jordan, what is your biggest credit card limit on one card? Like the highest limit you have?
I think I have, I will say, well, my Freedom Unlimited's 18.
Oh, damn.
I guess my Hyatt limit would be through Amex, which originally, before I started adding more cards, I got all the way up to, I think I was just under 40. I think I was 30 and some change on just that Delta Platinum personal card. before I started
That's big
adding
time.
cards. Yeah, so I've
That's a big
obviously I've
time.
started to move the credit limits around now, but I was getting up there with Amex. So
That's
on the
cool.
Chase side, it's that Freedom Unlimited with 18.
Wow. Okay. I want to thank John. John is in the gym parking lot. John, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. I also forgot, and Mr. Travelon, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. You're right. I think Key spends like 100K on annual
least
fees.
minimum.
At least minimum, right?
Yeah.
QC man, Wepa, how you doing? Bye, chat. Yo, let me tell you, that was really cool of chat to come on and to show you, Jordan. Jordan made a comment early on the live about this community. To have people and you're you know, everyone come on the chat. And even Stan, who's in California, Luke, who's in the, you know, Ohio, people from all over that just are showing love. Jordan, this is what you have to look forward to be honest with you. And I'm going to give you one piece of advice because I've learned, and I thank all my people here on this screen. I don't do any of my like redemptions or whatever until I run it through through them, because that's my Achilles heel. I don't know how to do it. I don't play it off. I'm clueless. So Anthony gave me the heads up on the Hilton when it was going live. Sledge tells me how to book the rooms and what to say at the front desk. Sledge, I did that to the T. It was like if you were there on my shoulder talking to the lady at the desk. I swear to God. So you need to take those, you know, like take advantage of us. We enjoy it, you know. Lisa, who's on the chat, I did nothing with stocks until I saw Lisa live with me, and then I got into it, honestly. So these are the people that you have available to you. And speaking of which, here's an OG. Rod from Points Blank Travel. Rod is in La Casa. Rod, thank you for being here. Rod, from an OG to a new G here on the screen. This is Jordan, Rod. So thank you for being here. I appreciate that.
I have a question. As people are writing in and doing their thing, Jordan, I know you mentioned loving Delta. You said you got the Delta Platinum and things like that. Actually, I have two questions. One is, are you going to seek multiple Delta cards to get status, right? While we still can do that?
That was my actually like original plan when I was first learning, you know, doing some research on which cards I wanted to add. I was thinking originally of just stacking all the Delta cards, getting that status. Quite honestly, I sort of through that research too, though, I've almost found that Delta Silver status can still give you some upgrades. Like, I guess I've been gold spending on that personal Delta Platinum for the last, 4 or 5 years until I started adding all these other cards. I was getting gold just about every year. I would get an occasional upgrade. I don't know if I had bad luck or what. I know for sure I was always on that complimentary upgrade list.
Yep.
I would get one every once in a while. I had a flight to from Boston to LA 2 years ago, and I got upgraded to Delta One, and that was next level. But
yeah.
Quite honestly, I love gold status. I think I can still get plenty of value if I'm just silver status with the MQDs that I'm getting right now. I thought about stacking all those originally, but as I kind of learn more, I definitely want to be able to add other Amex cards that count towards that 5-card limit. So like the Brilliant, the Blue Business Plus, which I'm applying for in just a few weeks. So
Sure. Okay.
Key,
No, that's a good
Key
take.
with that. Which Delta card do you have, Key?
Yeah, right now I have 2 Delta Platinum business cards. And I'm kind of deciding if I want to do that. I was killing it on the upgrades last year, but I travel out of a smaller airport. So Jordan, you mentioned you traveling out of Boston Logan, which is, we're neighbors. That's the second most flown airline out of Boston. So I wonder if you're not getting upgrades because of that reason. Whereas I'm in Providence right next door to you. It's like the 4th or 5th most traveled airline. So I'm all like, even when I actually didn't even have silver, I just had the reserve card at the time. I was still clearing first class, like Providence to Denver and Providence to that was crazy. That was crazy to me. So I think it just depends on where you're at. But Joe, what's up?
No, you know what? We mentioned this on the live last week with the guys, with Manuel, with Dalton, with Jesse. And it made all the sense. And I got a lot of people commenting. You got a better shot, as almost counterintuitive as it is. So I have United, which is a hub here at Newark. But I've gotten better upgrades on airports where they're not the main one.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Right.
Exactly.
So any airline, it seems, because you're saying that's for Delta. I've had that experience with United. And because when I fly into Jacksonville, there's a Delta lounge there at Jacksonville Airport, and then the trashiest priority pass lounge ever there as well. But I fly United to come back home, and I've gotten upgraded there coming back because United is not their main line.
Right.
So that's something to consider moving forward, I guess, right? For anybody who's out there listening as well. So
yeah, definitely. But I would like I want to caveat and say, like, I wouldn't just go get Delta status just because it's your third or fourth most traveled airline. Right. Especially if you're like at a major city like Boston, there's hundreds of nonstop options. So like, why would you not get, Delta or JetBlue out of Boston when they travel pretty much everywhere in the United States and internationally? Like, for me, I'd rather go direct whenever possible. Whereas like my small little airport, I always have to stop no matter what. So I'm going to go with Delta because it's, lower on the list, more chance for me to get upgraded.
That makes sense. Manuel, I want to thank you for I've never gotten a super sticker before. I've
cool.
never. Thank you, Manuel, for the super sticker. Manuel was on with me last Tuesday. Manuel I know he's going to start a channel because that man is fire and he really has his stuff together. Manuel, thank you, Papi. Thank you for being here and thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. We have Joshua Eng. Joshua, thank you so much for being here. You are always in the house, Papi. I appreciate you. Luke says, by the way, Lima, Peru has a really nice priority pass lounge, open 24 hours, I think. So,
it's so
and
cool.
then we got Call Me Lani here as well. Thank you.
Big time.
Yeah, no, the priority pass lounges outside of the States are good. Here is just literally the one in Jacksonville had one person working the whole thing, and there was room. Literally, you had to scan a QR code for the bartender to go get the pita chips from the counter and then come and serve you a drink. They had a waiting list because they had nobody to work it. That's how bad it was. Yeah, it was trash. Seriously. JP, what do you have to say do you have anything to say about your own side here, JP, your own experiences or something to Jordan?
Sorry, I missed the question. My own what?
Anything you want to add? Anything you want to say, Puppy? From your own experiences, whatever else?
I got something else.
No, I mean, I was actually just thinking about what Key was talking about in terms of the Delta Platinum card and status. I think I'm actually going back to something I was thinking about earlier. In terms of like why crap, I can't even think of it anymore. Come back to me later.
All right. Well, Joshua has here. This is a good question from Joshua. How do you all get over the nerves and awkwardness when doing your first video?
Just do it.
Just to get it done. It's going to be terrible. I just watched my first video and it is so cringy. But like all you can do, I think Jordan mentioned this. The previous video, do something different. Then build onto that. Then build onto that. And it's going to be bad. Like no matter what, it's going to be terrible.
So what about you, JP? You had the same experience?
My first video was terrible. You can go and say it's 2 minutes of trash talking about the change to the green business card that never actually happened. That's literally the worst video I've ever made, and I keep it there though because like it shows progression. I think like
humble beginnings.
100. Sledge, what about you?
So we all, man, listen, I done said it too many times, bro. My first video was like super trash. Like I actually even remastered it and redid it.
You're remastering Biggie?
I remastered that joint and put it out like a year later. Yeah, that thing was like super trash. You know what? It takes you. It to me, it's not about the nerve because talking in front of people is not a thing for me. You know, like that. I don't have a problem with that. It's just getting used to. Or you don't know what all goes into this until you do it. And not only that, you don't know really what your niche is online, in front of this camera until you start getting into it. I think it took me, it probably took me over a year to really get my niche as far as how I wanted to record. At one time, I thought I found it. And I'm like, nah, and I just kept working at it. And the way I record now is the way I want to record because I finally found my niche, man. But it probably took over a year for me to do it. So
You've been doing it for 2 years now, right? We just celebrated your 2 years in November, correct?
Yeah, 2
So
years.
this Super Bowl year, when I think I did mine in 2023, Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know why. I was wearing a Dallas Cowboy jersey, which they weren't playing in it anyway. And literally in my family room, which is my New York Mets orange in the background, I had my cell phone like this, right? And I thought I was the coolest thing ever. The overhead light made me look like a whale that was beached, right? There was no mic or nothing. I was using the phone, right? And it was actually a lower version of the one that I have now. The worst thing was this, Jordan. You know, when you're looking at the phone this way, the camera is on one side. I look cross-eyed. I was like this because I was looking at the wrong spot. I left it on my channel because I look back and I go, damn, what a change. Because that was basura times 10. I got to make a shirt for Sledge that just says basura with trash cans because that's what that was. But I leave it there because it shows you what you grew. I think I had 20 views on that. It was sad. And I was reading stuff off like, you know, the American Express Platinum card, because of course that's the first card I decided to do. Like I thought I was the ish doing this. It was stupid, but we've all done it. So I get it. Now Terrell says here, Terrell, how you doing? Terrell Muhammad is just phenomenal. Thank you for being here again, puppy. Look at this, and I'm going to mention something here. Don't sleep on IHG, Kimpton, and Intercontinental.
I've been saying the Kimpton.
Terrell, I'm going to blow up my own spot by this. This is one reason why, and I'm doing a video, but where is it? Hold on. So I can't get an IHG card because of freaking Chase and their 525, right? Or 524, whatever the hell. But I got the United Club card because you get IHG status. And they give you a $75 statement credit if you book a room with IHG. You get the Platinum Elite status. So it's kind of like having just that status without having to apply for the card and paying extra for that. So I want to stay at a Kimpton or Intercontinental like you guys have done because you guys have been saying it's the best thing out there. So, Terrell, I agree.
While all of y'all was staying at the Hilton in New Orleans, I was in the cut at the Kimpton. You know, I don't tell nobody where I'm staying, but yeah, that it's gone. It's been passed and gone. But yeah, that's where I was at.
Yo, Phil is going to use Calby's cat strategy for his first video. Remember, Calby used to do videos with cats, where the cat was the talker. I swear to God. So, Jordan, what do you have? Jordan, what do you have coming up this year? Because we're going on an hour now. What do you have? What's the card you want to get next, and why? And what is your next big way to meet a sub? Like, did you break down your stuff for the wedding that you know the subs you have to meet?
Oh yeah. Well, two things. I mean, I'm applying for 6, 7, 8 cards. I guess in general, the two things that we're doing is now, especially now that she got that first ink card, that's going to be a great way to earn UR points. Continuing to refer each other. That's one of, if not the biggest thing that we're going to focus on this year. The next thing is you asked me what I'm doing this year. It's spending a ton of money. I can tell you that because we've got the way our venue works. It's actually broken out into different deposits throughout the year. So we've got a big deposit coming up in a few months, and we're really kind of timing as the applications around those deposits. And then for maybe some smaller sign-up bonuses with a lower minimum spend, using some of the other vendors like Photographer and placing on the deposit for that. So we're trying to I've got it all mapped out. I mean, I think Key, you commented you love a good spreadsheet. Like I've got all this stuff totally laid out. I've got my whole calendar for the year and which cards I plan on applying for and when. I actually covered that in my last video. So I guess if you do watch that video, you can, I guess the dates where I plan on applying for those cards is sort of when those different deposits and all that kind of falls.
Have you run into any issues with vendors that they'll tell you, well, you know, if you use a credit card, we have to charge you a 3% fee or anything like that? Have you gotten clubbed over the head with that yet?
So I haven't gotten the issue with a 3% fee. We have had vendors that don't take credit cards. Okay. I looked into paying through some of those online services. What is I forget the name of it. Plastic is one of them. I tried that. I don't know. I mean, for those, they were smaller purchases anyway. So we'll just send the check. Let's not overcomplicate this thing. But I haven't actually run into the issue of a vendor charging a 3% fee. And I guess if or when we do, quite honestly, I don't really have an issue with that, given how much we're going to get in the return on spend that we're getting from the sign up bonus.
Now, where do you keep your cards? Sledge, where do you keep your cards? Do you keep them in a extra wallet?
Oh, well, of course, man. Hold on, let me go back here and reach for this.
It would not be one of my videos if I don't have, the extra wallet come out. Look at wait, she got her extra books. See, Key's at the next level. She got extra Bibles over there. Cards.
And then
look at that. Look.
Oh, in a box.
Look, fancy.
I got the one that it's still
Beretta Brown.
You got extra cards in it.
Look, again, this is gonna be your future, Jordan. You're just looking at it now. Extra's gonna be sponsoring you as well. Guys, check out Peep. Oh, look, the extra wallets are out there. Peep them. Referral links below. Join the membership. As Sledge says, join the membership. Join the membership. Check out my links for my favorite cards below me, gente. Hit that like. I got Nelly Zapata on the screen. Nelly is my Colombian queen, my Shakira. I love you, mama. Thank you for being here. I was just there yesterday at her house with Terry. Nelly, que Dios te cuide. I love you, mamita. Hassan, thank you for being here. Fees will be it. That's the problem. In a lot of places now, it was first here in Jersey, the diners that were charging you 3% to use a card. Now it seems everywhere you go, they're charging 3% as an excuse. I don't understand that. Are you guys seeing that everywhere you go, wherever you go, now they're charging you 3%?
Yeah. Some places don't even tell me. I gotta look at my receipt to see that they charge me it.
So yeah, some places. Well, I had a dinner Thursday night, and it was just us two, and it wasn't a lot of money, but they didn't have anywhere else other than the bar 20% gratuity automatically added to your bill, and then they have a line on the bill that says gratuity. So if you didn't see that, you're like, wait a minute, but that's New York. Luke said,
New York.
All right, y'all. I gotta drop. Jordan, absolute pleasure chatting with y'all. Jordan, I wish you nothing but success. I can't wait to, keep hearing these strategies. I love it. And I appreciate y'all having me on.
Thank you, Key.
Key, I love you, mama.
Bye-bye.
Love you, baby. God bless you, sweetie. So, Jordan, Luke wants to know, he goes, and I'm probably ignorant, but how much are we spending on a wedding and how old are you?
I'm 28. I have been dating my now fiance for over 8 years.
Wow.
I knew I was going to marry her like 2-3 years. Like, it was quick. We talked about it at the time. Like, let's just save up. And like I said, she's a full-time wedding planner. There's pictures of her when she was 6-7 years old, dressed up as a bride. So like, this wasn't going to be a cheap little, like, under the radar wedding. So we needed to make it big. So anyway, we've been saving up for a long time. We're fortunate to get help. And we're, very lucky to have help elsewhere, but we've also saved up a ton over these years, just sort of in preparation for knowing that we wanted to make it a really special day for both of us, but mainly for her.
And just to be clear, she's player one. Remember that. My wife literally has a shirt that says not player two that I had to get for her, because if not, she would have never come on screen. Sledge already knows Wendy's the queen there, right? Wendy's player one. We're not even playing around. Sledge's gonna talk. She's gonna try to be all tough right now. Look, because
you already know, man. Listen, at my, I know how y'all do it, y'all crib, but at mine, I wear the pants in this Jane. I'm just gonna let everybody know. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I roll over here. But I did have a question though. It was basically something that Chad had said earlier, and it was like, how do y'all value sin per point when it comes to hotels? And the reason I asked that question is because a hotel could cost $2,000. A hotel room could cost $2,000 today, right? If you go to book that room, and it can cost $200 tomorrow for that same exact room for the same exact day you want to book it. You know what I'm saying? Depending on when you go to pay for the room. So that's why I don't put a lot of value into cent per point, because it's so, I don't know, the point that, okay, I'm gonna just give you an example. It's a hotel here called the Tampa Edition. A lot of times, if I go look at the room, I just want to stay there because the rooms are so ridiculously priced, right? I look at a room, and sometimes the room will say like 10 grand for a room, bro. For the room. I could go back tomorrow and look at that same room and it'll say 2 grand. How do you put a cent per? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a moving target.
Any room, though.
No, it's a moving target. It's not fair.
You can't really put a cent per point value on hotel room because of dynamic pricing. They change the price of those rooms whenever they feel like it. So yeah, you can't really put a cent per point value on them.
I don't think you can put a cent per point value on it, but I think you can have for yourself a cent per cent, like how much you value those points. Because I think about it in terms of dollars. Let's say a hotel room is $400 one day, and $200 the next day. Well, I value my money more than paying for $100. I'll wait a day and get $200. So like for me at least, it's like I don't take the cents per point, but I'm like, okay, am I getting cheated or am I actually getting some value out of this?
Right, I got that. I agree with. I definitely agree with. I definitely agree with that because first of all, no hotel room is worth 10 grand for a night.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? Like none. I don't care what it is. Right. If I went into your house for one day, it's not worth 10 grand for one night. You know what I'm saying? Like it just don't make sense.
You know what, Sledge? You hit something. So when I went to the hotel this week, they said it's dead time. Like everything is, it's not crowded. The hotels aren't booked, blah, blah, blah. So the room that they put me in was valued at about $1,500 with the taxes and whatever. But if you fast forward and I looked up what it would be in Easter time, spring, nicer weather, they want $2,800 for that. Yeah. There's no way I'm going to pay $2,800 for a heated toilet and a TV and a mirror. I'm not doing that.
But listen, this is where I'm going to take it to a different level than that, right? Say, for instance, like the hotel that most people are staying in Puerto Rico, right?
Right.
Most people booked it from the 6th through the 11th.
That's what I did.
I looked at that hotel when it was booked at the 6th through 11th and what other people paid for it. If you look right now, that hotel is $200 cheaper than it was when most people booked it for the same exact days. Right. It's not like if you booked it in the spring or the summer.
Right.
This is the same exact days that people booked it for. And that's why I say cent per point. It's hard to gauge that because you don't actually know what the price of the room actually is. You know what I mean?
So would you say, Sledge, and Jordan, I'm going to ask you this as you go further into the future. Do you put more of a value at what you're able to get out of it, at the experience as opposed to cent per point?
For sure.
Because that's what I got this week. I got the experience that I'm like, damn, I'd never want to stay at a Best Western Plus again. I never want to. I mean, as bougie as it sounds, I never want to do that again. Like, I don't want to. Luke always says it. I don't want to be with Adam and his kids at the gate. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm too old for this stuff. Jordan, you're still young. God bless you. You have patience. We have no patience. Me and Sledge have zero patience. JP still has patience because he's in his 30s.
I was just going to say the take that you guys have on cent per point, I've really started to take into account, like, it's, and I think Chad says this all the time, like, it's the experience that counts. So when I was first learning, and I think I learned the right way, it's all about, pay your statement balances off on time and in full, effective annual fee, cent per point value. And as I've started to learn more these last few months, I get that cent per point is, a good metric to look at, I guess, when booking. But kind of to what I was saying in the beginning, like, we're bougie. We love spending well above our means on points if or when we can. And if that means a great experience that we would never be able to afford with cash, then we're just going to do it. I mean, I'm not going to let that hang up any future trips or hold us out from any of those trips if we're not getting a good cent per point value.
And Luke is saying here, why is experience and cent per point mutually exclusive? I don't think that it's mutually exclusive. I mean, I'm just saying now, like with something with a hotel where you can't really nail down a price or whatever, I think it's worth whatever the value is to you, right? If I have, like right now, and I get made fun of a lot, I have 600,000 American Express points, MR points there, right? And I've used them for different things, but I have a lot of points still there. What is that worth? And I can tell you honestly, now that I know what I've seen, what it is to use the points, I want to make it that. I want to make it something that I'm not going to forget, as opposed to just saying, I got to use them. I want to use them for something that's going to make me happy, as opposed to let me just get rid of them. What do you think, JP?
I agree with that. I always go back, well, not always, but the last few months I've been going back and thinking about it in terms of cash. Because Chad always says, if people treated their money like their points, wouldn't have, it'd be better. Anyways, I think getting a good cent per point, or getting a good amount of value out of your points, can enhance an experience. But if, let's say, I'm gonna take my wife somewhere for her birthday, and it cost me 100,000 Hilton points or something like that, it doesn't matter. We're there for her birthday. She's enjoying the time. It could be 0.4 cents per point, or 1 cent per point. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I want to experience this with her. So again, but if it was 1 cent per point, it can enhance the experience. But I think in terms of like it by itself, it doesn't really matter.
No, and I appreciate that. Sledge?
Where was that?
We're talking about, so Luke had said, do they have to be exclusive, right? Experience versus cents per point. And I don't think necessarily is that, but.
No, not at all. I mean, I think I value my points out of whatever I get out of the stay, or whatever I use the points for. You know what I mean? Like, if you use your points for, if you're happy with what you use your points for, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So if you use your points to buy a MacBook like Spencer did, or put a down payment on a Tesla like Joe did, or whatever you use them for, and you happy with the verdict of what you did with it, then great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's the most important part. I think a lot of us put too much time into trying to squeeze the most cent per point out. Man, I don't got time for that. I'm sorry.
So,
like, if you could help me, if you that person, I can be like, hey, Sledge, I can get you 13 cents per point on this trip. Man, listen, I would be highly appreciative of you. But if I don't look up on it and find it, I'm not going to spend hours and days and months trying to find this 13 cents per point. I'm just not that person.
I want to add on that one a little bit, actually, because something I was trying to say earlier. Basically, the idea is I try to treat it like money. Like, you don't really know like how much you value something in terms of dollars. So, I might value, this water bottle like $10, but if it costs 20, I'm not going to get it. So but you might value it at like $8, something like that.
Right.
Point I'm trying to make is we have this idea of cents per point, and people are trying to use it as the benchmark. But at the end of the day, whatever your value is, be it in dollars, be it in cents per point, or sorry, being in points, it does. All that matters is like, are you enjoying what you're getting? I guess that's like what I'm trying to say.
You know what? See, now I gotta piggyback off of that, because I'm glad you said that. Because you know what? I remember when I first got into this game, and I'm looking at people saying that they didn't value like the Saks credit for anything because they don't shop at Saks. Their cent per point value would probably be different than mine, because I'm somebody who already shopped there. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I shop at Nordstrom's, I shopped at Saks, I shop at these places. So what I think is a value might be different than what you think of a value, whereas somebody who's spending more money than me might think of value is what's different than what I think of a value. So it's all like, I don't know, man. Like it's all speculative in my opinion. So yeah, we definitely want to see, the other side of things, and we want to get there. But if we all get there one way or the other and see it, it's all in your idea of what was good or not. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
If you can get your points back like this by what you spend on, it's even better. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because the reality of it is, everybody don't get a bunch of like, say for instance, like every creator doesn't get a bunch of referrals, right? I hardly get any referrals. Most of my points come from natural spending, and I think I travel a decent amount from my natural spending, right? So everybody's thinking is different on it. So I don't know.
I appreciate
that's just how I look at it.
You're right. Chatton is here. I wanted to say shout out to Chatton, who always supports us. Chatton, thank you for being here. He says some of my faves. Good to see everyone together. Terrell is answering for Yuri that Yuri was asking if you could purchase IHG points with the Amex, and he's saying yes, that he uses a Blue Business Plus card to purchase 400,000 points for $2,000. So he'll get 4,000 points. As for the Platinum card, I don't believe you'll get 5 times as it codes for travel. Davo, I've only ever bought Hyatt points when they offer a bonus. They're well worth it as long as Hyatt doesn't devalue them. John Kim had mentioned the Priority Pass Lounge in Jacksonville is where you must. They closed it for a bit, actually. It's still closed. Terrell, I'm working towards a bonus spend. Just want to buy cheap points and put it on MSR. Luke is saying, if I stay at an amazing all-inclusive in Mexico, I loved it, but the 0.7 cents per point won't be valued the same as a 7 point. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, sure.
No, and it's not that we don't mind spending 10 times more the value. I just think it's just, at some point you got to kind of cut the cord and say, what, am I going to keep searching for that extra 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cent per point? I don't have the bandwidth for that. I just don't.
Right.
That's why. So I might make a really, according to other people, crappy redemption, but it didn't come out of
that. You don't know what is super enjoyable to somebody else.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You just going off what you think is enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? Like that thing that you thought was like a 5 out of 10 might be a 10 out of 10 to somebody. Right. Me, on the other hand, I judge everything harder. There's nothing that's a 10 out of 10 because if it was, then I mean that it could be nothing better than it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if something's a 10 out of 10, that means that I reached the top. I'm at the pinnacle. There's nothing better than this, whatever it is.
Vincent right now is in Spain, and Vincent says he transferred his UR points. He actually texted this to me, and it took care of his flights to and from Spain. Even did better than Aeroplan. That's what I'm saying. So I mean, but I don't have time for all that running back. JP, you were saying, puppy?
Yeah, I mean, I think of it this way. Let's say I want to buy myself a PS5. PS5 costs $500. Well, I could wait till like a Black Friday sale or something like that and get it for cheaper, and save myself some money. But at the same time, do I want to get it now? So like I'm still going to enjoy it. I'm still going to have a PS5. I can save some money later or not. But like, I'll be happier if I save some money. Yeah. But like, do I really want to wait, however long I got to wait for it to get that? So like, I mean, I don't know. I think because like, I think me and Chad were having this in a live a few weeks ago about, for my honeymoon, we flew economy. But we stayed at very nice hotels. So it's like I could, get business class flights, but I'm only going one of less places. So I think it's kind of like, like what is the trade-off you're getting? And like you can still get, just because it's higher cents per point, it might be a good hit of dopamine, but like you're still staying at the same place and the points are still going to be used. If you're going to use the points for something else, great. But like if you're not going to use them for something else, you just want to save them because I, got a higher value. Like, what are you really doing? I don't know. I don't really know how to say it.
No, look, just Steve-O makes a good point. Points are intended for us to see how the other half lives. At the end of the day, the banks entice us with that. It all makes sense. I mean,
I gotta disagree with that though. I feel like in this space, we've made it out to be that. I don't want to like get on like Sevi or whatnot, but like I think like when you think about like going to the Maldives and stuff, like I feel like
I don't know where it is.
Like how can you like see how the other half live? I don't care how the other half live, bro. I'm still gonna be in the same place. We all going to the same location.
But you know what, JP? I understand what he's saying because here's the thing. I always wonder. I have a lot of my former students that show me that they traveled all over, that they're traveling, and I'm like, bro, you make $35,000 a year. How are you doing this? Right? Like in my head. and a lot of them were doing this, their points and miles and whatever. So I get it. So they were like, yo, Berto, I want to be able to do that. I don't make the money, but I can do that. So
that's fine, but like I don't think like that should be the only like
you're right.
idea of points. I think like points can definitely. I think I'm I would love to be in business class like anybody else, but I'm saying like I don't think we should like only use our points if we can get the highest cent per point value, or we can only use it for business class, or for only go to a nice resort.
Now look at Luke. Say your enjoyment was a 10 out of 10. You won't like your 10 cent for just a little bit more than your 0.5 cent.
No, of course you do. It adds value. It adds to the enjoyment, but you'll still enjoy being at a place. That's my main.
Yeah, Luke was talking the other night. I think I asked a question in his live, and he kind of, after sort of explaining how he thinks about it, he kind of said to me like, the understanding of the whole redemption side of this game is a whole nother level. And I think maybe my perspective will change eventually, but that's going to be sort of the next phase after this year, after the wedding and all that, is learning sort of how to get the maximum value for those points and that whole redemption side of things, because I only have so much bandwidth. I'm learning about the cards. I'm trying to find the best sign-up bonuses right now. That's a whole nother animal in and of itself. And who knows, maybe I'll, sort of change my tune on it. But I get what Luke is saying, in that once you understand that side, that's going to open so many more doors and change your perspective entirely on how you are actually booking and taking these trips.
So I want to say this one part. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. But I think one thing that's not being said, and I don't think people really say this at all, is that after you get the sign-up bonus, if you don't have a sign-up bonus or something like that, and you have to accumulate the points through basically organic spend, I think we're doing people a disservice by saying like, oh, try to get the highest cent per point, because some people probably can't get 150,000 points a year or 600,000 points, and they might only have 30 or 40. It might be a bad cents per point redemption. But like, if my organic spend only allows me to get this much, and I can go to some place, do I want to like wait off another year just so I can get an extra 100,000? So I think like that's the part I'm trying to get across, is that like, yes, of course we would love that. But I think when we're trying to think about how other people are going to be able to use their points, we should really set an expectation of like, hey, this is not, you don't have to, spend 150,000 points on business class, because that might be all the points you have, So,
no, it makes sense. And to be honest, that's why, and you make a great point, JP. When people have asked me, which is, do you always apply, or should I product change? I tell them it depends. Because sometimes if you can't apply for a card, let's say with Chase, because you're locked out of the 524 rule, you should product change if you're going to be able to benefit from an upgrade, or from easier access, or from priority lanes at United, whatever it is. Everybody's thing is a little different. So I agree with that. But those are things we learn as we continue to go through this. Tristan is asking, what was our first? So my first credit card, luxury credit card, was the American Express Gold in 1989. My first credit card was in college in 85, which was some bank in Ohio at a god-awful 29% interest, and I'll never forget. But it was like some little local bank in Ohio. But I signed up at college like they used to do, at registration. What was your first card, Jordan?
My first card was in college. I think it was from our home bank, like in upstate New York at the time. I don't even remember what it was, but my dad slowly over my first year of college started to bring down the limit that he had on it. Like, he was helping me pay it off. So he actually ended up closing that, and I don't blame him for doing it, because it got a little out of hand. So that was my oldest account, which, knowing what I know now, it was a mistake for him to close that. But I had the Delta Platinum personal card since I think it was 2018 when I got my first full-time job.
Okay.
Which
wow.
I've since downgraded to the blue.
Okay. And you, Sledge? The luxury card?
Hey, look, luxury card, gold card. If you haven't got that card, I will send you a secret message for it.
You're gonna have Jordan sign up for that luxury card, the black card?
Payment is needed up front, though.
What's the annual fee now? What is the annual fee? What are the benefits?
It's still not $9.95.
$9.95.
Only it's a generous $9.95. But we need
JP,
that
what
up
was your
front.
first?
Yeah, we need that up front before you even apply.
My first car was the Bank of America Customer Awards. That was the Customer Awards. My first.
Oh, really?
Car.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Terrell is saying here, I've helped many friends and family boost their scores and increase credit, but that debt cliff is so attractive to people. I think my first video will be on frugality, spending in your budget. No, you're not wrong.
That's a good lane to be in.
No, 100%. And here's what Sledge says. I think the difference with me and some others that I was already paying cash for those experiences, so paying with points is a bonus. That makes sense. Yo, what's going on, Kit Kat in la casa? How you doing, Kit Kat? Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I don't want to be like Sledge and be 20 minutes behind in the chats, so I'm catching up. Give me a second. Jordan, just remember, no one knows how to get crazy high value. Everybody says it doesn't matter. They just don't know how to do it, so they have to front. So, oh man, that's messed up. Yo, again, that's a fight on my block, though. I don't know, Sledge. What do you think?
Oh, I already answered that question. See, the thing with me is, listen, I go on trips when I want to. They go on trips when the points allow them. You understand what I'm saying? If you got to go to Denver to fly out of here because the point value is here and here, I fly out of Tampa every time on the day that I want to fly out of there, and I go to wherever I want to go when I want to go. You understand what I'm saying? I don't let the point dictate where I want to go. I dictate to the points where I want to go. It's a whole other story.
You said something, and I'm thinking, Jordan, you're probably going to be in this boat soon enough. So I just booked a one-way flight because my sister's going to be in Florida. I haven't checked the house in a while. And United had a flight, one way, $108 in economy. Economy plus was $140 something. First class was $208. I went straight to first class. I went ding, no points, paid it outright, done. Because I want the comfort. I want to be there when I get there. I don't want to have to deal with nonsense. I don't want to see if I might get upgraded. The seat is there. I could swing $200 because really, what's $200 nowadays, guys? A movie, some Chinese food, and a beer, and there's your $200 for a family of four. I'm not even kidding. So, I was like, look, I'll be comfortable for 3 hours in the air. So why not? So Sledge, I get it. Kit Kat, thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. You are the man, Kit Kat. You just really show us all love all the time. Didn't know you had a live. 3 of the best dude on the screen right now. Yo, look at that. Shout out to Jordan Rules. Kit Kat is fire, Jordan. Kit Kat will follow you, you'll see. And Kit Kat is loyal and amazing. So Kit Kat, thank you so much. Luke's last statement. Say you want to take a United flight to Chicago. It's 10K United points, but only 6,500 Avianca life miles. These guys are saying, hey, just because it doesn't matter.
That's not true. That's not true. That's a straw man right there.
Luke,
man.
Come on, Luke, man. You're better than that, Luke. Come on. We know what we're saying. It's just when it comes to certain things, that I'll pull the trigger with or without the points. It doesn't matter. Tristan, what was my gold annual fee when I got it in 1989? I kid you not, Tristan. It was $55. Then it was $75 the next year. That was my gold annual fee. So my Sledge luxury card full and is due every 2 months. That's true. Yo, Jordan, we got to get you on that, Jordan. At loose points and miles, I'm definitely in a boat where I just don't know the redemption side yet. See, Jordan, you're smart, Jordan. You're playing nice in the sandbox here. All right, at least the luxury card has a priority pass with restaurants. Yeah, you get Popeye's chicken, right? Popeye's chicken, Wendy's, McDonald's, and the luxury card's priority pass restaurant. Sledge. What else do you get? Sonic, Arby's. What else?
Man, we don't get no. You get Mr. Childs.
So I
need that.
I actually did want to say something to Jordan. I was thinking about this earlier. When you're like paying for your venue, I don't know if it's like catering or whatnot. Through ours, we realized that it actually coded as a restaurant, so we're able to use the Amex Gold for that. And then got however much you pay for the actual venue. So like be on the lookout for like how your vendors code, because it might actually give you some bonus categories.
That's a good call, because we kind of trial and errored that the first time. I thought it was going to code. We were putting down like the food and beverage deposit, but it's actually a boutique hotel. So we thought it'd be a restaurant, and we used a card that we thought would earn in that category, but it turns out it's a hotel now. So now I'm looking at obviously cards with hotel multipliers, or even just the travel category.
Right.
That's kind of what I have lined up for the next few deposits. But good call.
That is so right. And even in certain, if you go to certain venues like stadiums, there could be a chain restaurant in that stadium, and it's not going to code as that restaurant. It might code as the venue place, and you might not get the points. So that's great, JP. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, JP. Tristan, yes, Tristan, it was. Still haven't gotten an invite to the. John is waiting for his invite for the luxury card. Luke is saying, now I'm trolling, Jordan. Audit these guys. Every single one of them would be doing better with 1-2% cashback card. Luke is being a bully. I don't know. Luke is being a bully. Kid Kat says, honestly, the best feature of the luxury card is that you could have 2 Waffle House employees come to a fist fight your manager twice a month for you. Yo, you are not wrong. That is notorious down south. The whole country buffet. All right. Yo, you're stepping up your game here. I love it. Sledge is going to downgrade to 2% cards. Uh-oh. And 3% saver. That's the one card. Do you have that card, Jordan? Any Capital One cards?
I don't.
Uh-oh. Big mistake. They're going to put you in Capital One's hell for the venture card and whatever.
I hear you talking, all that you talk about the Venture X. And I mean, honestly, I'm adding all these cards. Like, I don't want to overcomplicate things, and I already have, I guess. So that's kind of a moot point. But like, I want to stick to, at the very most, like a couple lenders. Let me start small. Maybe I'll want to get into Capital One eventually, but it's kind of the only reason I haven't gotten into like Citi as well. I know I could get value from the Citi Strata Premier, but I got a couple lenders. Let me just focus on those for the first year, and then I'll figure it out from there.
Jordan, I had a relationship with Citi since I was 18, 40 years. My first credit card I just got from them last May, which was the Premier. So I get it, and it's a great card, but you can't cover everything at all times. Always, you can't. It's almost impossible, Wait, this is QC man. If Sledge can get Capital One with all his cards, it's not hopeless. It's true. I get it. I get it. So we're coming up on an hour and 45 minutes. So we're going to end in a minute. Anybody, we'll start with you, JP, Sledge, and then Jordan, you'll wrap it up with anything you want to say.
No, well, first off, again, thanks for having me on. Jordan, has been great talking with you here. And best of luck on the wedding. I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys do those redemptions. Do you have any like plans like for where you guys want to go, like part of the world or whatnot?
Yeah, kind of what we were talking about with Chad. Like, I think it'll take one big redemption. I've been trying to talk her into like going all the way to Maldives or something like that. We love the Caribbean, like Virgin Islands, that area. So I think we'll probably go to that area where we love and just go to the Ritz down there that we've never been able to afford with cash. So that's what we're thinking for now. Quite honestly, we could even, find a way to build in some other stops to some other islands that we haven't been to. We'll probably end up down in the Caribbean if I had to guess.
Well, I just saw yesterday, is it St. Vincent has something like the Maldives, that the hotels are over the water and a clear glass floor. So if you're there, again, water's water, bro. I'm going to travel to the Maldives. I still don't know where it is. And I'm going to spend how much a night? 200,000 points. Throw me to the Caribbean where the water's blue and beautiful and I could still see it under the glass floor.
But Joe, you need to get better central point value though, Joe.
I need better central point. Well, I like what Chad is saying here. This is for you, Jordan. A great way to find out who owns a property on site. Look at the occupational certificate, which must be on display by law. If it says the venue or the hotel name, that's what it'll code as will be in use. So that's good to know. Muda Kabir, how are you? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. What card to choose from? American Express Gold or Capital One or the Sapphire Preferred? So it's Chase Sapphire Preferred, I'm guessing. So which one? What would you guys say?
For me, because I have both of them, I'm going with the CSP.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, again, people say you get, the Forex on groceries, but I don't shop at supermarkets that much. I'm shopping at Costco or, like some other big box store, and not having the 3X on travel like I have on my green. It's just the goal. It seems nice, but it just is lackluster for me personally.
Yep. No. And that's 40. What about you now, Sledge? You the one?
I don't know. For me personally, the CSP always been a lackluster card to me. You know what I mean? Like I just never. But it still all depends on what you're doing in your life and your spend. You know what I'm saying? Like if you in the Chase ecosystem, please get the CSP. Do not pay $325 for American Express Gold card if that's gonna be the only American Express card you have. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on your circumstance and what you want to spend on annual fees and things like that. So I really can't give you an opinion on it. I can just tell you how I feel. In a certain way, I can see why the CSP would be better, but I could also see why the Gold would be better depending on your circumstance.
Yeah. Look at Luke. Also, Jordan, when you buy a car, just pay the sticker price. Don't negotiate. Luke, you are next level, Luke. I want to know what you're doing, Luke. I swear to God. Who hurt you, Luke? Who hurt your feelings?
Exactly.
Who hurt you, Luke? QC man, Joe, I remember when you got either the autograph or the premiere, you said it would become a party a year later. Do you still actually, so that I'm not kidding, QC man, I'm going to whip out again my extra wallet, link in the description box below, and you will see that I do keep the autograph in rotation with the premiere. I've used them interchangeably, and I'm using them at least once a week. Not maybe putting every single spend, but yeah, I am using it, and they've been phenomenal cards. So I just need to see how to really redeem like the Chase points, the Wells Fargo points, not much really to transfer to. So, but yeah, it's been a part of it. The Miami Lounge got him salty. Luke is just being a bully. All right. Let me see. Oh, look at this. Now he's sorry. Got up at 3 a.m. Long travel day. It's okay. We forgive you. We forgive you. As a representative of the MIA, we apologize for the salty experience. Oh, damn. Yo, we're not blocking you, Luke. Too much love for that, Luke. Too much love.
I'm blocking
you. Your wife is probably saying, thank God he's with his guys on this thing, because you're probably driving her crazy. Oh, my God. Oh, hey, Luke, you be proud. I paid the invoice price for my last car.
Hey, listen. You know what's funny is that's the truth. After I sent so many emails to so many dealers until one dealer in St. Pete bid on giving me the invoice, the actual invoice. He emailed it to me. I took that email and shopped it to other dealers until someone bid on giving me the invoice price on the car.
Damn.
Yeah. I sent out a ton of emails before I got it, though. Yeah.
Oof. So Terrell's saying he has the Venture card, and Venture X is a solid card. However, he's becoming a Capital One hater. There are many things I don't like about their business model dealings. I feel you. Again, I get it. And finally, Luke, price doesn't matter as long as you like driving the car.
Luke needs some sleep.
Luke needs some sleep,
you know what?
and some Xanax.
But you know what the funny thing is? See, look, this is where I'm going to point something out to Luke. That's true to some people. That's 100% true to some people. If you can just buy the car with no cares, then it wouldn't matter, right? It's the same thing goes for points. You just don't look at it like that because you value points different.
No, you're right. Like, honestly, and I'll leave this and then we're going to say our goodbye. I got my car. Did I have to pay $2,000 to Tesla to get it in red? No, but I like the color. So, and I like cars, so I'm going to pay it. I don't give a damn what it costs me, right? So I think that's how a lot of people approach different things like this in this space. If it has the value to me and I love my cars, That's what I'm going to do. My friend got the same exact car in that gray that they have because he didn't have to spend any more for it. That was the only free color. Color didn't matter to him. Does to me. So I get it.
I never understood with cars though. Like I never understood that. A different color is more expensive. I never understood that.
I've had Jordan is 28. I've had 26 cars in my lifetime. Literally, I flip them every 2 years. So, Sledge, up to you, Papa. And then we're gonna go to Jordan.
First thing I want to say is, if you subscribe to the Luke Points and Miles channel, please unsubscribe immediately. Nah, Luke, my guy, man. You know I'm kidding. But for real, go so subscribe to him. But
that was perfect. And he said color doesn't matter to him either. I love it.
But yeah, I don't have much else to say, man. I think we had a good live. I think anybody who watches live now, watching in the future, man, make sure y'all go subscribe to Jordan's channel. And yeah, this live wasn't about me, man. Like it wasn't about me. So yeah, I'm gonna pass that thing on to Jordan.
Jordan, talk to me, puppy.
I appreciate you guys so much. I had a ton of fun. I mean, I was nervous as hell coming into this. Hopefully it didn't come off that way, but my first live, you guys have been so welcoming, inviting me onto your channel. Joe, I was coming into your lives. I think it was around the holidays, just saying hi. You're like, go check out his channel. Go check out his channel. This kid's awesome. And I, quite honestly, at that time, especially, like, I was really still just kind of getting off my feet. So for you to show me support and love that early on, and I'm hitting you up, Sledge up, Anthony on Discord, Key. There's so many people that I've reached out to, and I've gotten a response from every single person with, I'm sure you can attest, some questions that are probably stupid and like, how does he not know this? But you've been more than willing to answer any question I have, and the amount of love that you guys have shown me, shouting out my channel, and again, just being so welcoming to me as someone who's new in this sort of community it's not lost on me, and I'll always appreciate all the love that you guys have shown me. And if there's ever any way that I can show that back to you guys, I'm going to do that.
Puppy, you do, and that's the thing. And Sledge, JP, and Key and Chad that we had on earlier, Luke busting out chops here. This is what we do, right? And we felt Sledge, I, and Chad, and Anthony, and them, we saw something just different in you and real, right? Sledge, I think that's how we put it, that you just real. And that means a lot, you know, and we're grateful to you. And before we came on, he was texting me, Jordan was texting me, he's like, I hope I don't drop any F-bombs. I hope I don't do this. I hope I don't do that. And I got to tell you, I give it to you. You were good. You were rated G all the way through, you know. But we want to wish, all of us here want to wish you and your wife just the very best going forward. This year is going to be a movie for you guys. If there's any way we could ever help you in any way, shape, or form with anything, let us know. And just, you know, God bless you, man. You really are taking on something. You work full time. Your wife works full time. You know, look, even Terrell is saying it right here. Keep up the collaborations. This is what we do, right? And this is how it should be. We look out for each other. We don't go against each other. Simple as that. You know, so guys, we're going on almost 2 hours. Jordan, thank you for being here, Papi. We are always here. This week, we're going to have different lives coming up for each one of us here at some point. Watch all out. Please subscribe. Jordan, did you drop your channel here, Jordan? Did you do that?
I believe so.
Drop it one more time, Papa, so that people could see it. Look at it. Juan is saying, I love Juan. Awesome live, guys. Jordan, a pleasure. Congrats on the wedding. Many blessings, and looking forward to your content in the future.
Thank you.
Guys, subscribe to Jordan's channel. Hit it up. And I want to thank everybody for being here on a Saturday, which was a weird time at 4 o'clock, but it worked. And all of you guys for hanging in there. I'll be back Tuesday live with Jackie Laville on my channel, and that's going to be just a movie. It's going to be about time. You know, yeah. Well, the credit card connection with the credit card connector. Go figure, right? Sure. You know. So look at this. QC man, welcome, Jordan. Hope your channel and marriage are a huge success. That's how we do it here. So, mi gente, you could have been anywhere else on a Saturday afternoon. You chose to be here with all of us. We thank you for that. But on behalf of everybody on this screen, I thank you more, and we thank you more for giving us the pleasure of your time. Until next time, mi gente, God bless you. Take care. See you then. Love you guys.
And your boy will be back on Monday night.
That's right. We better lock in 7 o'clock, right, Sledge?
Yes, sir.
I want to know when JP's going live. That's not an answer. Jordan, we know you'll be live soon enough, papi, on your own.
I'll need some help, but I'll definitely be live at some point.
We will do that. Love you guys. Take care, guys.
Peace.
Thank you.